Everyone, welcome to the next part of the Getting Started with Machine Learning series, that is looping statements in Python. So let's see what looping statements are. Looping statements are entities of a particular programming language which allow the programmer to repeat a certain block of code until a particular condition is satisfied. So there is a condition, and then under that condition we have certain statements or a block of code, and once the condition is checked, that particular block of code is executed, and then the control goes and checks the condition again, and if the condition is true again, that is if the condition is satisfied again, then that block of code is executed again, and this loop continues until that condition is false. Okay, so let's see this through a flow chart. So we have initialization, that is we initialize a variable, give a variable a value, and then that particular value is checked against a condition. So say if we have I is equal to 0, then the condition might be I is less than or equal to 10. Okay, just an example. And then that condition is checked, and if the condition turns out to be true, that means if I is less than equal to 10, that is 0 is less than equal to 10, which is true, then a certain set of statements are executed, and then I is either incremented or decremented. So if we say I is incremented, so I is equal to I plus 1, so that means I becomes 1, then the condition is checked again. So yes, 1 is less than 10, the statements are again executed. These particular statements are executed again, and then again incremented, I is again incremented, and then again the condition is checked. This loop goes on and on until the condition remains true. And once the condition becomes false, that means once the particular variable is incremented or decremented enough number of times, this condition becomes false. And that's when the control comes out of the loop and it goes and executes the next statements. So let us see what loops we have in Python. So we have two main loops in Python. One is the for loop and the other is the while loop. Let us see how these two work. So here I have a list of numbers. Okay, list is a data structure in Python. You'll get to know more about that later. For now, just understand that each item in a list has an identity called an index. So the first element's index is 0, the second element's index is 1, third element's index is 2, and so on until the nth element's index is n minus 1. So the indexing starts from 0 for the first element and goes on till n minus 1 for the nth element. Okay, so indices are used to access the elements of a list. Just remember this. So now first we have a for loop. Here we have two new keywords. One is len, the other is range. Len is a function which returns the length of a particular data structure. Okay, so here I have passed the list L to length, and it will return me the length of the particular data structure L. So here the length of my data structure is 8. So len will return to me 8. Okay, so let's simplify range. Range is from 0 to 8. So range is nothing but a function which returns to me a range of values. I have supplied to it the lower limit, that is 0, and the upper limit, that is 8. So range will return to me numbers from 0 to 8. 8 is not included. So 8 is exclusive, 0 is inclusive. So range will return to me numbers from 0 to 7. 7 included, 8 excluded. Okay. So now control comes to for I in range 0 to 8. So initially I will be given the value of 0. Okay, it will be initialized to 0, and then sum is equal to sum plus L of I. This is how values are accessed through their indices for a list. Okay, so initially, as I told, I is equal to 0, L of 0. So L of 0th index, that means 22. So sum is initially 0. So 0 plus 22, that is 22, will be stored in sum, and then the control will again go to for. I will be incremented, and now I is 1. Now it will be checked again. The condition will be checked again. So is I in the range 0 to 8? Yes, it is in the range 0 to 8. So L of 1, that is the second element, will be added to sum. So 65 will be added to sum, and then the control will go again and check the for loop, check the condition, I will be incremented. So this will go on and on, let us say until I is equal to 7. Okay, so now I is 7, the condition will be checked again. Yes, I falls in the range 0 to 8. So L of 7, that is the last element, because we have 8 elements. So the last element's index will be n minus 1. So that is 8 minus 1, that is 7. So the last element's index will be, last element will be added to sum, and then control will go again I will be incremented to 8. Now I does not fall in the range 0 to 8 because 8 is exclusive. So our sum will be printed. So let us execute both of these statements. Just connecting, just 1 second. Yeah, done. And then as you can see, the correct answer was 199 and we got 199. Okay, so this was one way of using the for loop using range and length and the indexing. If we don't want to use the indexing, we can directly write for I in L. This tells the compiler that take an element from I and then use it as an independent entity. Okay, so here when the control sees this statement for the first time, what it will do is it will give the first element as I. It will take the first element in L as I. So literally you can see for I in L, what does it mean? It means that for value of I in the list L. Okay, so it is literally telling me pick a value of I from the list L. Okay, so first time it comes, it takes 22 and then 22 is added to sum. Then in the second iteration, I goes to the next element, that is 65. Then 65 is added to sum. Then again I goes next element, and this goes on and on until I takes the last element 54, and then 54 is added to the sum, and then control sees that there is no element next to 54. Yes, that is true. So it will come out of the loop. And let us see if we get 199 again or not. There, we get 199. So this is an easier version of for loop. Okay, so for loop is done. Now let us see how while loop works. So assume that we have an if here instead of a while. In place of this while we have an if. Okay, so I came in here, sum is equal to 0, I is equal to 0. 0 is less than 8, length of L was 8, so 0 is less than 8, yes, true. So L of 0, that is the first element, will be added to sum, yes, it is added, and then I will be incremented. So I is equal to I plus 1, that is 1. And now if is done, sum will be printed. Okay, so here we have a while loop instead of an if. So since we have a while loop instead of an if, after this increment is done, while the condition will be checked again. As I told you, think of it as an if, but the difference is that the while condition is checked until the loop does not get false or the condition does not get false. Okay, so now I was 0, I got incremented to 1, and then the while loop checked again. 1 less than 8, true. The first index element will be added to sum, and this goes on and on until I is 8. Now I got incremented to 8, and then 8 less than 8, false. 8 is not less than 8, 8 is equal to 8. So the control comes out of the loop, and then the sum is checked again. Yes, 199, so that is true. So this is how loops in Python work. So you can connect with us at this particular URL. We are Developer Student Club, Geetham University, and at this particular website we add all our upcoming events and all the Q&A sessions. Feel free to add all your queries in the Q&A in the comment section. We will answer each and every one of them. Thank you so much.